Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a book review for you, and I am going to be reviewing Artemis by Andy Weir. This is the same author that wrote The Martian. I received an advance e-reader copy of this from NetGalley, so thank you very much. So the background of this is that I liked The Martian. I thought that it had an interesting premise, but I also thought that the movie version of it actually really did the story better. I thought that the book had a lot of extraneous science jargon that didn't really fit the plot and was really just a lot of background for potential science nerds reading it, which I'm sure there were a lot of. I also thought that the story ended really abruptly without wrapping up a lot of the threads. I think that that makes sense given the weird publishing history of the book, you know, that he was writing it online and then it was self-published and then got picked up by a major publisher, etc. But it just really wasn't my favorite narrative style. Unfortunately, Artemis has a lot of the same problems as The Martian, but it has the added problem of just an absolutely awful main character. She's condescending, she's childish, abrasive, petty, arrogant without cause, and overall unpleasant. At least 90% of her interactions with other people in this book are entirely negative in tone. She spends the first few chapters literally just whining about all the things in her life. She also makes these claims about so she's a smuggler and a porter, so she makes her side income by smuggling because porter is a really badly paid job. And she claims that teenage Jazz got me in this trouble, but it also seems like she has not learned a single lesson since then. She's supposedly a genius, a mechanical genius, but then she's pretty unobservant when it suits the plot, and her lack of motivation and her lack of a desire to do something with her life, which is a thing that she gets into arguments with characters about all the time, is never really explained. She just doesn't feel like it, which is a terrible explanation. Honestly, she reads like a middle-aged white dude who is trying to write a strong female character and doesn't realize that all he's done is taken a bunch of masculine-coded tropes and stuck them on top of a hot, unpleasant, sexually promiscuous woman, who, by the way, also fulfills the nerd fantasy of falling for the nerdy nice guy who has some of the most incredibly ham-handed, awkward behavior, which really just reads like sexual harassment. Fantastic. I also felt like the writing had the same problem with info dumping that The Martian did, but personally it feels even more egregious because in The Martian, at least you had the nominal excuse of he was writing up science logs of his various experiments. He was a scientist documenting his process. That at least makes sense even if it was kind of boring to have him go on about hydrogen reactions for 15 minutes. Jazz, on the other hand, is a smuggler. She has no legitimate reason to suddenly grind the plot to a halt to go on about this detail about life on the moon, which in theory could have been really interesting and could have been cool background details, but instead they just ground the story to an absolute halt for no reason. She also tends to address the reader directly in this extremely condescending manner. A particular example was when she said, "You can stop pretending you know what a niqab is." I should not be putting my book down to go, wow, fuck you, Andy Weir. For one thing, I do know what that is. For another thing, if I didn't, way to shame people for not knowing things. Fuck you! I'm not even sure if I should get into how gay people are portrayed in this book, because they're tertiary characters, but basically she has an ex-boyfriend who we never meet, who is gay, and apparently, even though Artemis the city is so permissive that they don't care who you're sleeping with as long as it's consensual, he was also so torn up about being gay that he lied and cheated on her with another one of her close friends. So that's fantastic. Which we never meet the ex, as I said, we only meet the friend, and we find out all of this through him. So honestly, if you loved The Martian, you'll probably love Artemis too. I didn't love The Martian, I thought it had promise, but I really disliked Artemis. I gave it 2 stars for a fast-moving plot that I'm interested to see turn into a movie that will hopefully do the story way better than the book did. So that is the end of my review of Artemis. I feel like I could say more, but I'm going to refrain. I try not to do reviews that are just entirely negative on this channel, but every once in a while they're necessary. But feel free to let me know what your own thoughts about the book were down in the comments if you've read it, and I will see you guys very soon with another video, hopefully one that'll be a little bit more upbeat in tone, but I'll see you guys soon. Bye!